Hi, Dr. Emily Stopper here, founder of the Happy Dentist and Implement Apnea Academy. I thought it might be fun to do a special unboxing video today. So I have an appliance from Panthera Lab, and they are a lab out of Canada. They make oral appliances to treat sleep apnea. They have a couple different kinds. What I'm going to show you today is called the DSAD, the dental sleep apnea device, or it's also called the Classic. So let's open the box. We'll do a little unboxing and show you all the goodies inside. I love their packaging. They have very nice packaging. I love their logo. So we'll go ahead and open the box and see what's inside. They have this nice little cardboard box. Just opens like this. And when you open it, you have the nice Panthera logo. And what's in this first packet on the top is another box. Okay, so before we dig into the rest of the box, we'll look at what is in the first part of the box here, or little box within the box. And what that is the full kit of rods that you'll need for your appliances. So it comes already with all of these rods. So it's already set with the rod that you set your patient in for, what you set your baseline setting in for when you took your airway metrics bite, or whatever you use to take your patient's baseline bite registration. But then they have all these other rods for whenever you want to move your patient or send the patient home with the rods to change in themselves. So it ranges from, let's see if I can show you this on the screen, all the way from 20.5 millimeters up to 30 millimeters. And if you'll notice right here, these two rods are missing, and that's because that's what's in the device already, and that is 28. So this particular patient's appliance already has the rods that are size 28 in it. So you can see all along the sides, and they're broken up into 0.5 millimeter segments. And I'll try to show you that again here in a minute. But they're broken up into these 0.5 millimeters, and that's why you see these rod sizes here. So we'll look more at that in a second. All right, so, and then one other thing that's in this box is the actual, I'm not going to share this because it's got the patient's name on it. But basically it's my prescription. It's the prescription that I sent in and the invoice. And then we also have the instructions for use here. So this is what you can give your patients, and has more information on the device and little helpful things for your patient to know. Okay, that's all that's in that box. And then if you look in this packaging, we also have the other goodies. So obviously we've got the appliance, and we have a nice little cleaning kit that comes with this. So like I said, the Panthera packaging is excellent. I love how they do this. I think it looks very professional. It's very nice. So we're gonna grab the device out first. And it comes in this nice little purple box. One other thing I'll show you before I take this out. I scan my patients, and trying to get on the right side here. If you'll see here in the corner, there's the patient's models right here. So we scan the patient, and then they send us the models from where we scan the patient. So it's handy to have those. Here's the lower for this particular patient. And the upper, I'll get that out in a minute. I'll go ahead and show you what the device looks like though. And then I'll show you the cleaning kit that comes with it. All right, here's your nice little case from Panthera. So this is what you'll send your patients home with. And in here is the actual device. All right, so we'll go ahead and unpackage it. And not only does it come with the device in there, but there's also a package of elastics in there as well. So it's a package of 5/16 inch elastics. It's a 24 pack. And I will show you that now. All right, here's a little pack of elastics that comes with it. And I do like these elastics. They're nice and thin. They're 5/16 inch elastics, like I mentioned. And then here's the actual device. This is what it looks like. This is the DSAD, and these are the rods I already mentioned that were missing out of the rod kit. They're in here, and It's a little tough to see. I think you're going to have a hard time seeing it, but the rod size is on the inside of the rod. It says 28, and I don't know if I can actually get it to where you'll be able to see. But take my word for it, that's the 28. So, and if you'll notice on the bottom here, we have the little elastic hooks. I always ask for elastic hooks, just so there's just basically two little notches here, elastic notches, so that if I need to put the patient in elastics, then I have that option. And if you'll notice, I tell my patients a lot of times they'll be able to open and close. This is also good for bruxers because it does allow them to go have a little side-to-side motion as well. And as you can see, the nylon can be nice and thin, so it's not bulky in the patient's mouth. Okay, so I keep turning it upside down. So here's the top, here's the bottom. Elastic notches are always on the bottom. And before I show you any more of that appliance, I'm going to show you what the cleaning kit looks like. Okay, so we'll put this aside for a moment, and I will show you what the cleaning kit looks like. So here's the patient's nice little cleaning kit. And I think this is a very nice little touch from Panthera to include this. And it's got the Panthera logo on the top. It also has the day of the week on the side. The patient can turn this little thing right here, depending on what day of the week that they last put their appliance in for cleaning. Get it turned around the right way here. So, all right, we've got it on there Tuesday. Okay, so it's got this nice little lid. So it's a nice little case for them if they need to take it anywhere. It also has, if they want to travel, it's portable. It also has this nice little addition where they can put their appliance in and dip it down without getting their fingers dirty. Thought that was kind of cool. It also has a little hook on the side where it can kind of drain from the appliance. Okay, so anyway, I think that's really, really nice. And like I said, the patients can slide it in, turn it around depending on what day of the week it is, and they'll know when they last put cleaner in. One thing I will mention about cleaning your Panthera devices is that you want to, the reason they have this on the side as to what day it is, they want you, part of the cleaning instructions is for you to clean it twice a week in some type of orthodontic cleaning solution. And so this can help you keep track of, okay, I'm going to clean it Tuesdays and Thursdays or Tuesdays and Saturdays. And then you can basically use this as a way to remember what day you last cleaned it. And you need to basically put it in a solution again to clean it in between uses. But normal use is to clean it in lukewarm water and store it dry. So rinse it with lukewarm water, clean it with a soft bristled toothbrush, and then you just store it dry in between uses. And sometimes they do stain a little bit. They can pick up a little bit of coloration. So I wouldn't worry if that happens. It's just kind of the nature of this particular material that can happen to. It's a really great appliance. I highly recommend it. I love it. Patients love it. So it's one of those things that, I think you'll really like using for your patients, and your patients will really like as well. But when your patients are traveling, they can store it in this, or when it's not being used, they can store it in their little case here. You've got your little bands to use. I am going to show you how to put elastics on these, and also how to change the bands out, how to change the rods out. So the way these rods are, there's a little place here on the, I can show you, upper and the lower. So you'll see the lowers have this little notch that comes up here. So the way it's easiest to do is for you to take it out of the top first. So remove it from the top, and if you look, there's a little, almost like a little keyhole area right here in the upper. And what you do is you just turn it, and you're almost feeling like you're going to break it, but these are very strong appliances. It's very unlikely for you to break it. You're just going to pop it loose, but you can see it's kind of got this little edge to it. And here's what the notch looks like. for the other component. Okay, so you're going to do that to both sides in order to get it off. So there's with one side detached. Let's go ahead and take the other side off. So same thing, just going to turn it and it pops off pretty easily. And that's all you do. You take the same, you do the same thing for the bottom. You're just going to turn the notch so it fits the little keyhole area, and then it pops out just like that. And that's what the rods look like. They have a little kind of key type thing here, and then it's blank on this side, and you flip it over and the key part is here, and it's kind of flat on this side. So when you're putting these in, I always put it where the numbers, let's see if I can show you the number. This number's going to be upside down, but you might be able to see it says 28. You might not be able to see that, but it says 28 here on the side. I like for the numbers to face in. I don't know how much that really matters, but that's the way I was taught to do that. So that's the way I do it. And it just pops in on the inside like that. So when you're putting these together, that's a little something to remember, and that's what it should look like. Okay, let me show you how to put one of these elastics on. And what these elastics do is they help the appliance to stay closed. They give a little resistance so that a patient's mandible doesn't just drop down too easily, because you lose some of that protrusion when the jaw rotates downward. So the way this works is when you're putting these elastics on, you slide them over the little rod. See the rod here? We're going to do the same thing to the other side. We're going to put one on each side. And they're easy to shoot across the room, and that's what I just did. Okay, so now we have an elastic on each side. And what we will do next is put the upper one on. This part, it gets a little bit tricky. It's easy to do the first one, so we'll go ahead and do that. And when you do this, make sure you're orienting it correctly where you've got the occlusal pieces aimed toward each other, and that the patient could actually use it. So you kind of, see, I shot another elastic off when I did that. So let's put the elastic back on the other side. Okay, so the elastic is back on this side, and same thing, what we're going to do here is pretty much you have to angle this upward. So what I always do is I put my thumb on the opposite side so it doesn't pop off, and then I will go ahead and kind of get this lined up. So you're going to feel like you're going to break it, but you're not going to break it. Okay, and then we've got our elastics on both sides, and we're going to slide the elastics into these little hooks on the bottom. All right, so we got one over here, and I didn't get it through both notches yet. There we go. All right, now we've got on this side, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So you just get one side on each notch. Okay, and then you've got your elastics on, and then it provides a little bit more resistance. The patient can still open if they really try, but it does provide them some resistance. So it's not a bad idea to go ahead and start your patients off with the elastics and see how they like those. So one thing I do tell patients, because patients tend to try to open, and they say, oh, it pops off if I open too wide. Well, that's normal, but they don't open that wide when they're sleeping. So, or they shouldn't. It's very uncommon for them to open that wide when they're sleeping. So that shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be a worry if they do try to open wide, that maybe the lower would pop off of the lower arch. So one other thing I'll mention before the end of this video is I'm going to show you, I like that they send us the models back, because I can try the device on the model and see how it fits before the patient even comes in. So you can hear it has a nice secure fit, and you can see, you can just play with it a little bit and see how difficult it might be to remove, just so you have an idea of, is my patient going to have a hard time getting this on and off or not? This patient has a little bit of crowding there in that lower anterior. But it really was not hard to get off. We want it secure. We don't want it too easy to remove. We don't want it to fall off the teeth. Let's just check the upper while we're at it. And I've got it in the box still. Upper teeth. And we will put it on the upper arch. And another nice thing about these Panthera appliances is you can design them in various ways. So if you do not want, if you don't want any lingual coverage, or if you don't want any coverage in certain areas, if the patient's a gagger, you can design it differently, just depending on what you feel like the patient's needs are. So you can tell the lab to not have full front coverage. You can tell them to just do partial coverage on the front or partial coverage on the back. You could even just do a band across the front. You don't even have to have it wrap over if you don't want to. So it gives you a lot of different customization. So you have some options there. But just to show you what it looks like on the model, that's what it looks like. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this little unboxing video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and happy patient treating.